Yeah.
Early morning, time to rise, no sleep. Radio's humming with the funky beat. Sun is shining, Rachel brings the heat. Wake up, CEO, we're on repeat. Chicago, Sun Up City on the go. Rachel L. Gary on the radio. Tune in quick, feel the power flow. Wake up, CEO, it's your daily show. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. From the Windy City, bringing major vibes. Rachel on the mic, keeping lives revived. Radio Chicago, where dreams arise. Wake up, CEO, to the skies. No more snooze button, no more delay. Rachel's voice making waves today. Feel the energy Chicago way. Wake up, CEO, rise and sway. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Hey, Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill.
This is Dr. Carolyn Stevens, the CEO of the BHC Media Group. And when you are looking for a strategy for self-leadership, get aligned with Wake Up CEO with host Rachel L. Gary every Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m.
You know what time it is? Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago, Rachel L. Gary in the building. Wake up, CEO, let's go! Wake up, go Sam, set that tone. Wake up, every step you take, you claim that throne. Wake up, no more doubt, no time to stall. Wake up, boss up now, go get it on. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, I ain't waiting, now I go and take it. Built this from the ground, no way they break it. Consistency, my secret, watch me make it. Got that boss talk, now I ain't faking no. Look, set the goal, now I'm grabbing the goal. And put in the work, now I'm taking control. The vision so clear, yeah, I already know. Every step I take, I'm ready to blow. Wake it up, set that tone. Every step you take, you claim that throne. No more doubt, no time to stall. You boss up now, go get it all. Let's go, stay locked in, make it happen. Make it happen. Let's go, stay locked in, make it happen. Make it happen. No handouts, yeah, I made my way. Built my brand, now I paid my lane. Turn my losses into lessons. Now my grind got no recession. Yeah, they talk about chance, but I make my own. Yeah, I ain't waiting for fate, got a future to own. Yeah, every setback, just part of the game, gay game. But now I'm up, and they know my name. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up. Success so sexy, put the work in flexi. Late nights, no rest, but now my vision's hefty. They doubted, they laughed, now they watch from the back. Cause I turned every dream into bricks that stack. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, go get it all. Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago, Rachel L. Gary taking you to the top. Boss up.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Wake Up CEO. I am your host, Rachel L. Gary. Get ready for a 2-hour power-packed wake-up call to step into your full potential. You know, guys, I'm here. My mission is simple: to speak candid truth to empower the inner CEO. That one that is clear in their actions, empowered by their choices, and owning their direction. Ready to be that CEO of your life. And today we are talking about something deep: how to live through hopelessness. Because when life throws curveballs, especially in our community, we're told to just be strong. But today, we're not just surviving. That's a wrap. We're strategizing. And we're going to uncover emotional tools to rise from the pit, create it from the pain, and build prosperity from those ashes. I want you guys to stay locked in, because today we're going to have Greg Gray. If you guys are any 90s babies, Gregory Gray, he had a show called 9 to 5. It was the #1 video show. And he is coming to talk to us today about having it all and losing everything. Oh, man, get locked in. Then we have the Queen CEO herself. Gina Gadson is going to be with us. She's going to be locked in from Distinguished Authors Guild. Y'all know where literary excellence is celebrated. And we're going to have that power statement of the day. And last but never least, the Leadership 3-point play that's powered by Say I'm Possible Academy, where self-leadership gets GPS. And y'all know what we do on Wake Up CEO. We not gonna sit around and wait for what's happening next. We gonna lock and get right to it. So, power statement of the day: if you are living in hopelessness, you don't leave room to grow into prosperity. Oh, yes. We got to set the tone. And as everyone jumps in, I want y'all to, if you're watching this live on YouTube or Facebook, jump into the question of the day: what keeps you going when life hits hard? That's the question of the day. You guys on TikTok as well, let me know what your thoughts are. What keeps you going when life hits hard? Because we got to have that go-to of upliftment. Because we don't have that go-to upliftment, we're going to be stuck in hopelessness. So let's get that opportunity. What is that time? To get clear. When you're finding strength to struggle, it's time to turn that pain into purpose. And I'm just going to give a couple of things to remind you of who you are, how to step into who you are, and put hopelessness exactly where it needs to be. Behind us, understanding that things have happened, life has happened, but we're not going to live in that place. We're going to now strive to survive and strive to thrive. So that's where we're going to start. And we got to acknowledge it. First, acknowledge what's weighing you down. On Wake Up CEO, when I take that pause, that just means I want you to take that in. So we have to acknowledge first, guys, what is holding us down. And once we acknowledge that, we have to be allowed to feel it. It's okay. As one of my mentors says, it's okay not to be okay. But we have to understand it's okay to feel that your world has crumbled. It's okay to take the opportunity to breathe. Acknowledge what happened. It's okay. But we're not talking about living in it. We can acknowledge that it happened, cry our ways through it, throw the whole fit, throw the pillows, throw the glasses, throw everything we got to throw. Take a breath and realize what we're going to learn from what happened. Because as long as we're in motion of growing and understanding, then we have an opportunity to really find some real stability and some growth. And how do we get that growth? Name what's heavy on us so we can lift it off. Give it a name. Whatever that problem is, that's that name. And we're going to take that name after we get over it. After we get through it, and start figuring out that we are not going to be defeated by it. We're going to say that out loud. I'm not feeling hopeless. And even when I was hopeless, I'm still alive. I'm still here. And being here means I still have a chance. It's really understanding that you still have a chance no matter what. You have a chance every day to make a change, make a difference. But first, you have to give yourself to talk. That's what I tell myself. When things are going wrong and things are going bad, because life happens to me just like it happens to everyone else. So if you guys have been following me for a while and watching or listening to me on Wake Up CEO, I had a whole travesty go on with the buildings I was renovating. I had a whole lot of other issues that went on with another house. Things happen. But we're not going to allow those things that are happening to keep happening. I want y'all to take that in. It can happen, but we don't want to keep it happening. Because when it's happening, that means that we're constantly living in it. We're constantly allowing it to take over take it over us. And every challenge is a classroom for the next level of leadership. So I want you to ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What is this lesson doing in my life? Because I know that it's hard sometimes. It's very difficult to see past the situation. But once you realize that something in that situation is meant for you to learn from. Things happen to build us. Things happen for us to have resilience. Things happen in our life to give us an opportunity to stretch. And as we stretch, that's growth. Guys, I only speak what I know. I don't try to speak about things I don't have any idea about. Yes, we can have hopeless situations, but how do we live through them? We got to name them. We got to acknowledge that they happened. We can't, it's no more of this adage, I'm going to toughen through it. I'm going to be stronger through it. And I don't mean stronger as in I'm going to get better on the other side of what happened. I mean that strength of I'm not going to deal with it at all. I'm going to ignore the situation even took place. I'm going to immediately erase that it even happened in my life. It's not a healthy way to live. And it's why we start spiraling years later. Because we didn't deal with the situation. It goes to like when you're in a relationship and you know that it's time to end it. And I use this for a reason. And you know it's time to end that relationship, but you're still holding on to the person. You're holding on to a person that did you wrong. Or holding on to a person that doesn't know your worth. Or you're holding on to a person who doesn't value you. And until they decide to walk away. I know I'm not the only person who's ever heard or been in this situation. Because when you deal with it, you acknowledge that your feelings matter. You acknowledge that you're worthy, and you are important. One more time, let's take a step back. That you are worthy and important. Because once you know that you're worthy and you're important, it's certain boundaries that you're not going to allow to be crossed. There's certain things that you're going to be looking for. Certain moves you're going to be looking to make. And it's all right. Because if you don't acknowledge that you need to get better, you need to do better, then how do you get better and how do you do better? Let's break it down for me. How do we get better, do better, if we don't acknowledge that we have a problem in the first place? I want to make sure that we get locked into that. That's where growth comes from. Growth comes from when we believe, we know, we understand that we got to make a change. We got to make a difference. Something got to be different here. We got to make some changes. And then when we rise in our brilliance, because once it hits us, once the epiphany hits us, that was a lesson, and then I'm going to pull from it what I need to learn and how I take that to my next life, the next part of my life. When we do that, then we give ourselves an opportunity for success. I'm going to take a moment on that. And I want y'all to take a moment on it as well. If you're looking for success in your life and getting past hopelessness, we have to know that there's hope within us. And that's how we learn. That's when we're pulling from things the lesson. When things happen to me, as I said, they happen to me just like they happen to everybody else. When things happen to me, the first thing that comes to my mind is, what lesson am I going to learn from this situation? What can I do? What could I have done? Or what did I learn? What was in it to build you? What's in it to make you stronger? And what is it in there to develop you? And then we're rising above and being brilliant. Because hopelessness loses power when you use your creativity. Build something, a plan, a vision board, a business idea from the situation. Because those creativity sometimes comes from things hitting you. Because think about this. If there's no pressure, you don't know what easy is. If there's no pressure, there's no diamond. If there's nothing crushed, there's no wine. I put these in those contexts because that's what happens to certain things. To transform, you have to sometimes go through a proverbial fire. I wrote about it a lot in my Forest of Fire because that's how I built myself. Remember, guys, I only talk to you about things that I have done, been through, gone through, know about in my life, because there's something we can't discuss. I know a lot of people that talk from theory. I'm just not one of them. This is how I live my life, how life has molded me, how I find my strength. Because I find my strength from these situations. And this is how you can dispel hopelessness and you can live through it. Because I want to say it right here and right now. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way. You don't need permission to feel vindicated, feeling that you can do better, have better, be better. There's nothing wrong with that. But what we want to make sure that we're doing is that along the way we're learning, along the way we're living, along the way we're growing. And once you start setting the situation and understand that it's meant for you, not to you, then you can find a piece of empowerment from it. And I promise you guys, when Greg Gray is going to come join us and give us a whole lot of information about how to be empowered in a situation like these. But that's the first point, is that we have to take the opportunity to think. That's what getting clear is about. Thinking. Not just being, not just doing, not just having, thinking. How does this situation play out? If A, B, and C is happening, or it's happened, because remember, everything is a continuum of time. 5 minutes ago, I was at the beginning of this. Now, 15 minutes in, we're in a different place within the segment. So everything that I had said before has happened. But for you to grow, you got to understand what happened so you can grow past it and grow with it. So I want you guys to get locked in. And remember the question of the day, as people come into the live, thank you guys for watching me on Facebook and YouTube. And I definitely appreciate people who listening to me on Support District Radio or 365 Live. I know you guys are locking in. The question of the day is, what keeps you going when life hits hard? Because it's going to hit hard. Share your thoughts out there. Because that's what it's about. When life hits you hard, how you get up? How do you live? How do you move on? And drop a tip down there. Help another CEO out on how you got through it. How I get through things is different than how other people get through them. For me, I analyze the situation. I figure out what I've learned from it. I put that tool in my tool belt. And then I acknowledge that it happened and I move on. In that order. I don't know. I'm just that way, guys. I'm just that way. I stay locked into just being very aligned with just being the best version of myself and sign to things that I can't control. Because you only can control what you can control. And at the end of the day, when you control, so this is about controlling how you take things. That's what's being clear is about how you take on the situation. What is it about that situation that can better you? And we're going to dive in to Do It Anyway by Erica Mason. This is because it's all about at the end of the day. And I want y'all to stay locked in because we're going to have Gregory Gray. He's going to be up next talking a little bit about his book, about things that went on in his life and how he got through those things and how the biggest challenge of his life was to go from having it all to having nothing. Y'all stay locked in right here on My Radio Chicago, Support District Radio, where we already know it is more than radio.
This goes crazy.
You know, like, sometimes you just gotta stop caring about like what everybody else think.
Questions were exact and to the point of what I needed, but immediately I was able to apply some extra income immediately this past week.
Charging $150 for these classes. So I had 30 people show up each day. I charge $150 and we're like 4 days.
I've gotten like three more clients since I revamped again. And I'm really grateful for that.
I actually hit my goal. I think I was at 158. And so this week I'm now at 170 RSVPs for my lunch party.
I have been uploading consistently, sharing it, and also promoting and marketing on. I did build up my own team as well. The business, I also did crack in another client.
Maybe about this thing on this accident.
Welcome to the CEO Mastermind.
There's a new TV network on the scene.
I will walk like a CEO, think like a boss. Every setback I had turned to gain, not lost. Mind on clarity, feet on grind. Built
They want the crown, but not the pain. I made my peace inside the flame. Ownership, that's every choice. I don't fold, I found my voice. Every win that's earned, not luck. Every no, just fuel I tuck. I'm not here to break or blend. I break the mold and set new trends. Mindset strong like steel and gold. My silence ball, what lies don't hold.
In the bank, do it anyway. I know you felt a couple times, so that's alright. I don't care what people think, do it anyway. Yeah, do it anyway. Do it anyway.
All right, and welcome back to Wake Up CEO. I am your host, Rachel L. Gary. And guys, did I tell you guys to get locked in? My guest, guys, this is my brother. This is not just a friend of mine. This is someone who I hold very dear. We have been friends for 20 plus years. He has seen me at my lowest point. He loaned me $20 to be able to get home when I was having those cold days on the front porch. He has been very instrumental in my continued growth. I celebrate everything about him, everything that I know about him. I celebrate the fact of him being and having multiple millions, losing it all, and rebuilding his life with prosperity. Without further ado, I bring to Wake Up CEO, the CEO of DopeLiven TV, the one, the only Greg Gray.
Man, you give me those. You are giving me the same that I always got to give you when you come on. I gotta have this intro for Rachel Gary. Okay, but it's a pleasure to be on your show, man. It's long overdue.
Thank you for joining, man. First off, I feel so great, grace today that you took the opportunity just to take some time out of your busy schedule, because believe me, he is booked and busy. But today, I think that this is we're going to do a special of just talking about, Greg, what it was that you went through to help our other CEOs be able to understand and navigate through life. Today's show is about how to live through hopelessness. And I know that you're going to drop some gems that are going to help them gather themselves and be able to get to the next level. So first, tell them a little bit about Greg.
Well, I'm Greg. I'm Rachel's brother. Okay. And I say that bloodlines don't mean anything. Okay. That's my sister, okay? But been in this business for over 30 years, man, and it's been a learning experience. I'll put it like that. To have everything and then to have it taken. Well, I'm not going to even say taken away. To have lost it because of improper thinking, improper balance in my life. It's just been a blessing. It's all been a blessing. You learn from the mistakes. You learn from the downfalls, you learn from the bottlenecks, and you come up and you surround yourself with great people. You surround yourself with great ideas. You become intentional, and you know what you are not going to allow yourself to be taken to. All right, God only puts enough on us that we can handle, and then he gives us a different alternative. So my alternative was to take stock in myself, know who I am, know where I need to go, and do it, period, along with prayer and great people like my sister. Y'all don't understand this. And see, Rachel knows I don't like talking about myself. So there's
no deflection here on Wake Up CEO, sir. Because he's going to deflect, guys. But today we're not going to allow him to deflect. We're going to allow him to tell his story and help another individual with that story. Because that's the only good thing about the things that we go through. It gives us the opportunity to show up for someone else and let them see it as well. So no deflection. We're going to talk about it today, man.
I get that. So, but that's me. Any questions you have for me, anything we can get in this time period that we have, I'm there. Okay. So I'm going to be transparent. This is the first time that I'm going to be as transparent as I can be. And hopefully, you guys are appreciative of some of the things that I have. And I don't say that to be arrogant. Rachel knows I'm the most least arrogant person in the world. And I don't like talking about myself, but because it's Rachel and because I'm so proud of the elevation that she's taken, because she has the same story that I have basically. So let's go, Rachel. I'm ready.
All right, all right. So we're gonna first start with 925. Guys, if you did not see the promo, I'll play it shortly of the enormous amount of talented individuals that you've worked with, not just music wise, also in the movie industry, in the photography industry. There's so many people who have attributed their success to your conversations. Starting, who is Greg Gray? And let's take a step back. Who was Greg Gray back then in 925 days?
Yeah, I was a young man who did not know a thing about the business. All right, but you from Gary, Indiana, you get and you know, look at this like this. You get a black man, and I know this is, you know, I'm not trying to be racial, but I can only be who I am. You get a black man who has nothing, and you thrust him into the spotlight to become this public figure, this person that people looks up to, but you yourself are still trying to say, well, hey, I'm still that dude from 15th Ave, you know. But you changed the whole perspective of everything. I didn't know what to do. So I started actually as a dance show, and I think I sent you that picture. It was a dance show in Gary, Indiana. And as it progressed, the show caught on in Gary, and I keep saying in Gary because that's hometown, in Gary, and it was taken away from me because I didn't know the business. But the one thing that I was taught by my brother, I'm going to shout him out a long time ago, Melvin Gray, copyright, trademark everything that you have, okay? Regardless what you know, trademark, copyright. And because I did that, I was able to keep the relationships that I had with the record labels because I started doing music videos at the time when MTV came, BET came, and my show in the Northwest, in the Midwest. I grew to have numbers better than BET, better than MTV, interviewing recording artists. Then we started interviewing actors, actresses, athletes, politicians. We interviewed everyone who was newsworthy at that time, and we played music videos. The music videos actually are a representation of the artist. They're advertisement for the artist. So we did all of that stuff in a time, in an era where it was needed. You know, hip hop was coming up, R&B was strong, and we did what we did. My crew, I give shout out to my team always. These guys believed in the dream, and they helped me take the dream to a different level. Of course, there were problems within that, which made me have to leave the situation. But leaving that situation took me to a point where you don't want to go. But I was able to bring myself back out of it and come back up, and this is where I am now. But 925 was the catalyst, and it just took an act of God to make sure that I continued doing that, because it was easy to say, well, once everything was there and the decline came, you could stop. One thing about me, and Rachel say, I ain't never stopping. Okay, I will never stop. I don't care. I'm gonna do what I'm doing until I'm gone. I will never stop.
With all that being said, Greg, and when you started 925, let's just start there. So what made you say yes to doing it? And when they took it away, because that's a very similar story to I hear a lot in our community, and about not having the correct documentation for your business or for your ideas, having your intellectual properties actually copywritten, trademarked, and done correctly, so you can actually keep your ownership of your things.
Right. Restructure, man. I just restructured. Once everything got to a point, I'll tell a quick story. There was a moment where my partner at that time, we had an interview with Fox. Fox was just coming up, WFLD in Chicago, but Fox was coming up, and they loved our show. They loved what we were doing. Our show was urban. We catered to the urban youth, not just black, but there was probably more white urban youth than black. But we went up there, and long story short, they plopped a $1 million check on the table. There were stipulations with that. They said, well, you have to change your, add some Madonna videos, add some Britney Spears videos. Then let's add a white co-host. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. Okay, you liked us like we were, and we're making numbers. We're doing 1.5 million viewers daily. The draw for them was to get us to 10 million viewers because they had it, But I said, you know what? Just like we grew here, we can grow later. The thing that changed for me was we started infighting, and I'm gonna be transparent. There was infighting within my group. When you see the opportunities that come up, everybody wants to do something, and everybody, I'm the head, so you want to chop my head off, all right? But they didn't know. Well, I'm not gonna say the individual didn't know that as I saw all of this going on, I was restructuring myself. I was growing. I was learning. I learned that you had to have everything on paper. All right. And once I had everything on paper, I was able to go somewhere else. There was another company, a bigger company. I'm not going to name who it was, but y'all see them every day. They wanted me as the figurehead. They wanted me. They wanted me to do the music videos. Show and do the interview. So I took that option, even though my guys thought that everything was done with me. I took that option, and that option proved to be the better option. All right. But the thing that was plus for me was that I had all my paperwork in order. Everything was good. And even though at that time everything was taken away from me, my paperwork was good. So I could go anywhere and do whatever I wanted to. And this particular instance was the best opportunity for me. And it's provided me a great living up until 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, 14 minutes ago, 12 minutes ago.
Yeah, you said 12 minutes ago. So with all that being said, when everything was spiked, was at its high, and your TV show was doing 1 million plus views, and the organization came to you and they wanted to work with you.
Right.
And they were like, I want to work with Greg Gray. Now, because I know that you're a humble guy, were you always a humble guy? Or were you like, yes, I know they want to work with me, Greg Gray?
Man, I was not a humble guy. No, not at all. Man, look, me, anytime I could go into Walgreens, somebody pick up a magazine, they open the book up and they see my face and they start screaming. The moment I can go to come home and I go to my mom's church, and on my way to walk to the door, another church, neighboring church, people come out and the guy comes out and say, hey, my mom watches you all the time, blah, 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 blah. And then the whole church empties out and I don't get a chance to go to my mom's church. I mean, things like that kind of swell a brother's head up. Okay, my ego was on 12, dude. I was like, you know what? I am G Gray. Yes, sir. That's me. Yeah. It is. Hey, Rachel, don't get me started. You're loosening me up now. Don't get me started.
Because that's what it's about at the end of the day, being honest. We got to be transparent here because we know that egos get in the way. I mean, as you started this out, you were a young man from GI who was making waves. When you had a little something when you were younger, but nowhere near what you were stepping into. Right. So you stepped into a lifestyle that you didn't even you could hear about. It's different than hearing about something and being in something.
Right. And you know what? I have to apologize to a lot of the guys that were in the organization, in the 925 organization, because I kept a lot of stuff close to me. Again, coming from where I'm at, you tell too much, people try to take stuff from you. Okay. I didn't tell a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys don't even know half of the story. Okay. Of anything that happened to me. It's the first time. So I'm quite sure I'm gonna get some calls and some of this. Yeah, Greg, this. Yeah. Okay. Well, nobody knew the story. All right. This is the first time I'm telling this side of the story publicly. But I don't know. The ego got up there. money was one thing, the women, the power, all of that, you know, and that's basically why I wrote my book too, man. Peace and Power. But we'll get to that later.
No, we gonna jump into that in a few seconds about the piece of power. I had started. He just sent it over to me, so I didn't read like 5 pages. I'm reading through the book on the way. I'm just that way, guys. I could not wait till he finally wrote this book. So he sent it over to me. So I started reading it, consuming some of like I had can't pick up the phone and just ask a question, but it's different when you're talking to yourself, because that's how I feel when I write. That I'm not talking. I don't feel that I'm talking to the people. I feel like I'm talking to myself, getting it out of me and putting it into the world. And then once it's out of me, it's over with. I'm not living it anymore. I am through it at that point. But we want to first get these comments in here. We got Amber Penn who jumped on. Hey, my favorite people, my 2 favorite people. Hey there, Amber.
What's up, Amber?
If you do not know who Amber Penn, let me give you a couple of pieces of information. Amber Penn is a member of CEO Mastermind Season number 1. She will be joining us on Monday live on all social media platforms. Check her out. She is a loctician actress from Wichita, Kansas. If you guys are trying to get your luxury locks done, get locked in with Amber. We got Gina Gadson, who will be here in a couple of moments, the CEO of Distinguished Authors Guild. No one could do a music show like Greg Gray. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
So we have Angelina Gary who's checking in. What have I come in on? Hey, you've come in on listen to Greg Gray, and he's now telling the story behind having millions, because that's what he just talked about, the having the millions. But in a few seconds, we're going to talk about how all of the millions went away. All of the lights cut off.
Lights? I didn't have lights. I was outside.
Hey, this is my story, man. All the lights cut off, and the women are far in between now, and the contracts and all of the things stop. What happens to Greg Gray at that time?
Man, I honestly wasn't prepared. I can tell you that now. I honestly wasn't prepared. Everything left to a point where I was. Anybody knows from the hometown where Vore School is at? That was my home. I put a little thing on YouTube. It's called Me. It's just an intro, and it takes you to where I wound up when there was nothing. I slept underneath some kind of a jungle gym type thing. Slept there for almost 4 months, and it was that's where you get to a point where either you're going to give up and say it's over, or you reorganize, you re-strategize yourself. I did not know who I was with all of that. I didn't know who I was. All right, so I looked at everything, I dug out, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna have to use some people, which made me have to go and use somebody's phones and everything. And think about this. This was before social media. This was before cell phones were just coming out, but I couldn't afford one. I didn't have no money. But I had to make sure that the little skill set that I had, the things that I remembered, I could use. And I did that, re-energized everything. And my son was born during that time, actually, the beginning of that time. Well, a little bit after, but he was born, Jordan. Shout out to Jordan. Had a birthday yesterday. Yes, sir. We had a good time too. Y'all want to know about? No, let me stop.
Happy birthday, Jordan.
But we reorganized everything, got to a point where people were starting to understand and what was in me and I understood who I am. And we started restructuring, and I say that a lot, I'm sorry. And I said, if I'm going to do it, I got to do it myself first. So I did it myself. I started making calls. I wanted to make sure that people were involved in what my vision was, not being arrogant at all, because I had to take that away from me, period. But I had a vision of wanting to help people, wanting to get everything that was bottled up inside of me out, and to make sure that I stayed intentional and purposeful with every single thing that I did, which is what I did. Now, did I falter a few times? I'm imperfect. Yes, I did falter a few times, but I started to listen to people too, people that had my best interest. You know, Rachel was one of them. They had my best interest at heart, and that's, you know, you got to get outside of yourself, Greg. Which getting outside of yourself is the hardest thing in the world. I don't know how it is for anyone else, but for me, it's the hardest thing in the world. I had to get outside of myself and find out who I really, really, truly was. I wasn't that arrogant guy that had a music video show that was #1. You know, Kanye West put me, you know, the creator of that documentary. I had 3 seconds in there. That 3 seconds re-energized everything for me again. So I had a double revamp of myself. It's all a blessing. It's God. It's the people that you surround yourself with. You got to let some of them go, you know, and I hope I'm answering your question, Richard, but you got to let a lot of these people go. Friends, sometimes family, just people who are not really, they don't really have your best interest at heart. You know, they pretend like they do, but they don't. All right. I try to myself to make sure that I stay on point with everybody. You ask me a question, I'm gonna tell you the way that I tell you. I don't have any filters anymore, okay? But I'm gonna tell you the way I tell you. The things that I tell you happened to me. I cannot talk about things that did not happen to me. Anything that happened to me, I'm free with it now. But you can either use it or you don't have to use it. Me, I don't really talk about myself until I'm asked. So that's where I'm at, Rachel, with that.
Okay, so that's fair. So we were living in the parking lot. So let's get we were living in the parking lot.
Boy, you're gonna go back. I thought I glanced over that. Go ahead.
We not because it's important. Mm-hmm. It's an important piece because when you have it all to lose it all, mm-hmm. and from what you're because during the time when you lost it all is when you and I met.
Right.
So, and you were just rebuilding your career and getting back on to being the Greg Gray that you wanted to be, not the Greg Gray that was famous. You wanted to be a Greg Gray that was infamous, and it was building a legacy. And mm-hmm. that was when we met. Then we're having our conversations. That was who you were growing to be.
Right. Exactly.
Now, when you were rebuilding, what emotional mm-hmm. or spiritual tools kept and helped you create structure again?
I'm going to tell you, a lot of prayer, #1. Okay. And if you can remember when we met at that place, you know, is it okay to say the place?
No, I don't want to say the place, but I don't want the people to come in here talking trash.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So when we met at that place, if you can remember, you were you were like an Energizer bunny. Okay. I had a car accident, y'all, and I had to knock the couple of teeth out. So y'all, excuse me. You were like the Energizer bunny, and nobody was talking to you. And I came in there and talked to you because I saw energy. I love energy, and I can kind of know energy when I feel it. Those are some of the tools that got me back up. Okay. Talking to you. That's why I said talking to you. I was on my way back anyway, but talking to you just gave me some different direction because you were so direct, right? Prayer is hugely important in my life. Okay, I pray every day. I pray 2-3 times a day just to make sure that my mind stays focused on the task. And my task is to make sure that #1, I'm not going back to that swing set. I'm not going back to that playground. All right, I'm not. All right, and #2, I'm making sure that my son doesn't have to go to that playground. And #3, I make sure that the people around me. Am I still there?
Yeah. It's StreamYard. So I got to pause, you guys. I am on Greg's show on Thursdays, and I had the same problem. So that makes me feel better. All right, we got to give him a second to get logged back in. But I want you guys to stay locked in. We're gonna play Stand Up by Free because up next, we got the CEO herself of Distinguished Authors Guild. She's going to be in the building talking about literary excellence, talking about how she and Greg even met and how his journey connected with her journey and is going to bring us to the next journey. So y'all stay locked in right here on My Radio Chicago, Support District Radio. We already know it is more than radio.
Love is the language.
Questions were exact and to the point of what I needed, but immediately I was able to apply some extra income come immediately this past week.
Charging $150 for these classes. So I had 30 people show up each day. I charge $150 and we're like 4 days.
I've gotten like three more clients since I revamped again. And I'm really grateful for that.
I actually hit my goal. I think I was at 158. And so this week I'm now at 170 RSVPs for my lunch party.
I have been uploading consistently, sharing it, and also promoting and marketing on. I did build up my own team as well. The business, I also did crack in another client.
Welcome to the CEO Mastermind.
Inside of me.
My questionnaire, the questions were just very exact and to the point of what I needed. And when I met with her in my one-on-one session, I found it to be very profound.
Excited for this. This is something I really need and something I've been looking for a while.
It's an assessment. Like, it asks questions that make you think deep about what you want your life to go.
The 10-week financial focus plan she gave me helped me to see it in a better way where it would make money.
It was basically a reality. Something that looked like a dream, but in reality it was nothing but a shift of mindset. It's a state of mind.
Out and moving to the greatness we all know lies within who? You CEOs. See you next week right here on CEO State of Mind.
There's a new TV network on the scene.
I walk like a CEO, think like a boss. Every setback I had turned to gain, not lost. Mind on clarity, feet on grind. Built from the truth, that CEO state of mind. Power in my steps, vision in my lane. I don't follow waves, I create.
All right, and welcome back to Wake Up CEO. I am your host, Rachel L. Gary, and we were just diving into a great conversation with Greg Gray. So we're going to bring him back to the stage, and then y'all will stay locked in because Gina Gadson is going to be up next. Guys, if you are not ready to understand about why books are important, why establishing excellence is important, why she did it, why does she every year she run around frantically helping a number of authors get on so many platforms? If you don't know, we're going to find out today. But first, let's bring Greg Gray back to the stage and find out more about how a humbling situation has brought prosperity to his life, back to his life in a way that allowed him to start building legacy. So welcome back with us, Greg.
Yeah, I apologize. There was a call that came in, and normally I have it on airplane mode, but
that's all right. That's all right. Hey, it happens when you're a busy person. When you're running around and you got people wanting to contact and want to hook up and do something with you. Now, we've gotten past. You were on the swing. Mm-hmm. You developed and grew and start understanding who Greg Gray was. So what did you do next to define? So how do you define prosperity now?
Through the people that I help as they grow up, as they get bigger. You know, I don't pat myself on the back for that stuff. Okay, I think of it as a progression. for myself, as well as for the other people. Okay. When you wanted to do your, all of this, I told you, Rachel, number one, you're bigger than what you think you are. You don't know who you are. Continue to do this and you're going to be fine. All right. The personality that you have, you're going to be fine. I want to impart the prosperity for me is giving to others, making sure that they are, through the benefit of my experience, making sure that they're great at what they do. And I think that, there's been a number of people who have passed through the DopeLiven annals of time that have prospered themselves, as well as with my sister Gina Gadson's Distinguished Authors Guild, have molded themselves into becoming successful through these things that we've imparted to them. They were stagnant. They were staying in one place. And, and I'm not saying this to be demeaning or anything, but, you got to be able to believe in yourself and push yourself and invest in yourself in order to make it, in order to get bigger, in order to succeed. You have to invest in yourself. Again, the people that you surround yourself with can sometimes be a detriment. But for me, Rachel, prosperity is helping others to get to where they need to go to. All right. And that's not always financially. If it's financially, that's fine. I can help you. Okay. But I think knowledge is much more fulfilling. It's much more helpful than, you getting money and bam, I use the money. Well, what did I use the money for? Okay. What did that knowledge take you? Knowledge took you a whole different place. All right. You're in a prime example of what knowledge can do. I mean, your hat is, I'm deflecting, but it's for the purpose of this show. Your hat is twisted different ways. Okay. They would think you're a gang member for all the hats that you wear and the way you twist your hat. Okay. You have to be able to adjust, adapt, and, believe in yourself. It's power and purpose, man. You got to be able to understand who you are. But prosperity to me, to answer your question, is helping others to get to where they need to go to.
Absolutely. Now I will second that. I want to speak a little bit on that portion. When I decided when the job and I parted, I sat down and I was making a decision. And making the decision was either go back to the 9 to 5, get a different company that more in line with my vision of how I wanted life, or actually do what I thought I was called to do. Mm-hmm. Sunday morning at 7 a.m., I'm on the phone in my office, call my brother on the phone. I said, Greg, I need your advice.
Yes, sir.
And the biggest thing was that I explained to him what I wanted to do. And he asked me 3 words. I use them to this day in every piece of promo I have. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And that, it seems very small, but for me, coming from him, that meant to think, if you're ready, start moving. So after we got off the call, we talked much longer after that. I wrote down everything that I wanted to put into a program to help people. Everything I had learned, every single thing. And I said, what out of everything that I know can help other people not go through the same mistakes that I went through? That was the biggest thing. Not to make the same mistakes I did. Because along the way, I was homeless. The young lady who I'm gonna bring her message up right here. Prayer is the light in the dark. This lady here, I was sleeping on her couch at that point in time. I was sleeping on her couch. Greg had loaned me $20, and that's how I had gotten home. So I had went through all of those trials and tribulations, and came out on the other side victorious. More so, not victorious as making more money, but more knowledgeable, more of an understanding, more of a mental capacity. And I took that as a sponge. I started learning everything, doing everything, I had so many books. I was reading probably like 4 books a week at the back then, and listening to my podcast because I had an hour-long bus ride. My car broke down between that time, so I had no car. I was taking a bus from Chicago all the way to the suburbs every day in the cold. It didn't matter because something had to change and something had to make a difference, and I had to make a change. And Greg's conversation.
Let me interject real quick. And she didn't tell it. She didn't say nothing about it. She didn't complain. Rachel, the smile that you see right there, right now, that's the same smile she had. I didn't even know she was going through all of that stuff. I had no idea, but she still smiled, and she was always on time, and she was there, and she was intentional about everything that she did. Okay, and on lunch break, she in the books, she reading, got headphones on, she reading. I'm telling you, go ahead, Rachel. I'm sorry.
No problem. For me, I had to get to a better place. And the only way to get to a better place is for, as Greg was saying, is that you have to learn and invest in you. I had invested in myself in a way where I had a whole lot of friends who didn't care anything about what was going on in their lives, which means that we're partying, we're hanging out. That's what we're doing. We're not intentional about growing because we're not even talking about growing. That's not even one of our topics of conversation. We're talking about who happened to this person, what happened to that person, what's going on down the street, who we gonna hang out with, who we gonna sleep with, all those good things. Other than how we're gonna grow.
Yeah.
I went into a cocoon during that time. It was the books, my conversations with Greg, one other individual, Curtis, that we work with, Curtis Shelby. We all sat together and had conversations and Curtis had a whole lot going on in his life, but he still was smiling. But the smiles weren't fake because we knew we were going to get to a better place. And that's why I didn't fake it till I made it. I was always just feeling positive about my life. And that is when he said, "Are you ready?"
Right.
I didn't take it as a challenge. I took it as an introspection of, once I say I'm ready, once I say yes to this, I'm all in. I don't have. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Because when I asked you that question, when I asked you, "Are you ready?" You paused. And you basically said, "No, I don't know. I don't think
I didn't know."
And I'm like, okay. And then we talked a little bit more about it. All right. And I said, this is what you need to do as far as that goes. And I always abridge this by saying, this is what works for me. You don't have to do this. Okay. If nothing I say works for you, don't do it. But this is what worked for me. This is what elevated me and got me to the point that I am right now with DopeLiven. But that's anybody that comes, you can ask anybody, "Are you ready?" It's not meant to scare you. It's meant for you to take stock in yourself and say, okay, go through a checklist of yourself and say, hey, am I ready? Because a lot of stuff comes with this. And Rachel has done everything and still have more to do that I've asked her to do. All right. And I'm so proud because of the fact that that's a shining example and saying, well, hey, I know where I'm at, and I told somebody where I'm at, and she knows where she's at, and how can we do that for others? And see, that's where the conversation has to be diverted, because what you're doing with these people, these authors, these entrepreneurs is amazing. It has. And somebody said when we were on the show before, okay, and if I'm taking up too much time, just stop me. That it's been done before. Okay, yeah, it's been done. What Rachel's doing, it's been done. But here's the thing that I encourage everybody to say, and I challenge everybody: it hasn't been done like she's doing it. My DopeLiven, my 925 wasn't done like I do it. Okay, so there can be 1,000, 1,000,000 other people doing it, but is it effective? Is it reaching the right person? Is it reaching persons, I should say? And the beauty part about all of it is that we get to do it our way, and people appreciate it. We got haters out there that hate, but what are they doing? They're still watching. All right, they're still watching.
Well, I hope if someone is hating what I'm doing, please watch it and take a piece of information from it. So if there's a piece of information on there that you hate on that piece of information, and hopefully it'll turn something around for someone else. I appreciate that. But during this, with Greg talking about helping people and working with people, this person who we got waiting in the back, who's got 2 days before the Guild we meet for awards. I'm gonna set my awards right here next Wednesday, y'all. We'll just be ready.
It's gonna be there. It's gonna be there.
when I win my award, they're gonna be right here on the desk. But the CEO herself of Distinguished Authors Guild, Gina Gadson. Let's welcome Gina to the stage. Hold on, we gotta clap it up.
Hey, family. I love being with family. Hey, y'all.
Hello, Gina. Welcome to Wake Up CEO. Thank you for finally having a little bit of time. I know that you are so busy, and I got to get that time in before Hawaii gets in you. So, Gina, I mean, I don't even know where to start of the Authors Guild, of a Distinguished Authors Guild, and the camaraderie, the family atmosphere of the organization. I don't feel like I'm in competition with anyone. I feel like we're all in collaborating in the chats, collaborating for a meal, collaborating for the different platforms we've been on, collaborating on being on each other's platforms. I mean, I'm more in awe with what has happened over, this is the 6th year, correct?
This is the 6th year.
So my question, I'm going to start with the number one question. First, let's tell everybody who Gina Gadson is, and then segue right into how, why. We all grateful, but we all want to know how and why Distinguished Authors Guild.
Yes. Well, you know what? I'm a mother. I am a wife. I'm a friend. I'm whatever. Whatever I'm needed, that's what I am. But you know what? This is our 6th year. And I never even imagined doing this. I never even imagined writing a book. Most people don't even know that I have 5 books. I have 5 children's books. But I focus more on promoting the authors and their books than promoting mine. Because like you said, this is not a competition. It is the Distinguished Authors Guild annual literary award show, but it's not a competition. This was done to build a community of authors so that everyone would have a place to get resources that they could rely on. It's a lot of predators out there that's going to make you so many promises with your book. And it sounds so good. And I know plenty of authors who have lost money out here dealing with those predators. But this is a safe place. This is a place where we network. We are a family. It's a community. Whatever is needed, there's someone in this group, in this community, that's going to give you what you need, whether it's to help you get started with a book, publish it, send you to a workshop, read it for you, give you feedback, edit it, illustrations. It doesn't matter. Guide you to where you need to go. There's someone in this community that's going to help you to do that. And so this is what it was designed to do. Now, how did it get started? This was not even my idea. I spent the first, probably the first 5 years of my writing career promoting my books, Alpha's Adventure. And I did a lot of book fairs and, things that most authors do. Get out there, selling your books out the trunk of your car, going different places to solicit your book. And so I got with 2 individuals who we sat down and we said, let's do something different. Everybody's going to book fairs. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's doing workshops. We want to do something different. And so one of the individuals had this idea that she had this idea for years. And so she presented this idea and we were all in on it. that's where you get the name DAG. Most people don't know. They think it's Distinguished Authors Guild. It didn't start, it is Distinguished Authors Guild, but it didn't start off as Distinguished Authors Guild. It started off as Deborah, Andre, and Gina. That's where we got the DAG from.
Okay.
And so as we progressed through trying to get this together, the A dropped out. So now we got D and G, and we sat down, D and G, myself and D, and we said, what do we do now? We don't have A. So I said, let's do Distinguished Authors Guild. And that's where the name came from. But the idea was an idea that the other individual put out there, and she ended up dropping out. So now it's just me. And you know what? I didn't want to let it go. I didn't want to stop it. I thought it was such a great idea. And I thought it was an enormous, absolutely enormous way to help authors to get their platform and their books in front of audiences and to help them and show them. Because you know what? One of the things that I could say is I can help them because I've been through it. I know what I went through as a new author and the challenges that I faced. And so I didn't want other authors to go through it. I want, just like you said earlier, you said, I wanted other people to learn from my mistakes. I don't want them to go through it. I want to tell them what mistakes not to make because I went through those mistakes. And that's the same philosophy that I had. Let me help you through this process because I ran into so many brick walls. I didn't know what to do. I had never written a book. I had never published a book. And so I wanted to be that catalyst to help them to get off the ground or whatever direction they needed to go in. And that's what we do. I got on my brother, and that's that's what he did that shocked me when he told me he wrote that book. Do you know how long I've been talking to him about a book? And then all of a sudden he dropped it on me last week. I wrote this book. You know, I did this thing, and I was like, what? And so I truly believe everyone has a book in them. It's just a matter of putting that book out, getting it out of here and putting it on paper and publishing it. I really believe because we all have a story. We all been through something, good or bad. Everybody that's on this earth has been through something, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but we can share our experiences with others and help them to go through it. You know, everyone doesn't know how to come out of these difficult situations like my brother went through. A lot of people don't know how to come out of that. Some people are still sleeping underneath the park bench. Some people are still sleeping in the bus stop because they didn't know how to get out of their situation like my brother Greg here did. And so sharing that story helps those individuals, give them motivation to push, because a lot of people feel like that their situation, that's as far as they're going, that they can never get out of the situation that they're in. But his story will let them know, no matter how far down you go, you can always come up out of it. And so that's what impressed me so much, that he wrote that book, didn't tell me nothing, but he wrote that book because people need that. There are plenty of people who need that. And so here we go with DAG, 2 days out. You know, I'm sweating inside. I look like I got it all together, but I'm sweating inside. And I told my sister, my sister told me to come on the show. I said, girl, this is the week that I'm running. I got on roller skates, but I had to make time to come out for my sister and come on the show. I don't care what's going on. I had to do it.
And I'm going to tell you, I appreciate you taking the time. First, I'm going to take a second. First, I appreciate you for starting the Distinguished Authors Guild. I know I'm not the only one who feels that way, but I appreciate you starting the guild. I appreciate the people that you've introduced me to. I appreciate the connections of the group. Like I said, I'm right now trying to figure out how I'm gonna get my wife's hair done and still make it to dinner tomorrow night, because he's like, you ain't gonna make mo. So I'm like, all right, so how? And I gotta pick up her dress. I'm like, okay, so how I get all that done? I said, okay, I'm gonna see him. She's like, you're gonna see him at the award show, but that's not the point. I want to have the opportunity to talk with them because we're going to be on the red carpet at the show. We're going to be out there. Everyone going to be so full. They're going to be looking so nice, so dressed. And there's nobody going to be having time to sit and chit chat. But we would last year.
You know what? We weren't even going to have the dinner this year, but so many of them said we have to because that's one of the highlights of being out there before the show. And you get to see and meet everybody in their natural habitat. There's no, when we come out on Friday, we dressed up. We got on evening gowns. We got our makeup done, our hair done. We got on the best jewelry and perfume and cologne. And so, excuse me, you're right when you say, it's not that big of an opportunity to sit down and get to know each other. Here, we get to sit down and get to know each other. Last year, Mr. Joe came out. He sang in the restaurant. Y'all, he put on a whole show right there in the restaurant. And so we decided, okay, we're going to meet for dinner on Thursday night so that we could have that collaborative moment and really get to know each other.
I didn't know there was a dinner Thursday.
Yeah, Dr. Stevens is still putting everything together, but she's going to drop it and let us know where and when. We kind of hatched out the time somewhere around 7 p.m. So I'll share that with you, Greg, so that you'll have the information. We don't have the details yet. She's working on that right now because I think it's going to be like 20 or 25 of us there. So she's trying to get it all together to find a place that can accommodate us all.
And right now I'm sitting there and I said, man, I am not going to make it. That makes me feel bad.
I'm not going to make it.
Because the biggest thing is that because I live on the northwestern side of Chicago. I don't live on the south. I don't live in the city anymore. Right. So to get to the city, it takes me about an hour. Where we're in the facility that we're talking about having it in, it's going to take me about an hour and a half. And then my wife she's going to a northern part of the city to get her hair done. And then I got to pick up the dress from Maywood. I'm like, God dog it ain't gonna happen.
I know a lot of people, a lot of people are getting ready. They're preparing for themselves, but a lot of people are flying in. So they pretty much are ready. They're bringing everything with them. And so they're already ready. But I know I got a lot I'm going to be doing Thursday, but I'm going to make time for that.
Okay, we got people in the chat. We want to make sure. We got Farron checking in. Hey there, Gina.
Hey, Farron.
Jeff Relaford checking in.
Hey, Coach.
And then we have Dr. Stevens saying, I sent it.
Okay, I'll still send it out to you, Greg.
She said, you will not be blaming me. She said, y'all sent it. But that's what it's about at the end of the day, guys, about the collaboration. And I appreciate the fact of the collaboration. I appreciate that Gina was the first person to read Forest and Fire. She was one of my beta readers of Forest and Fire because I was like, I got it out. So I sent it to her. I said, all right, Gina. I sent it to her. She gave me some feedback. I changed those things in it because that's what it's about at the end of the day, guys. I had to get it out, get the feedback, make it better. That's all. That's about growing, building. But the biggest thing that what you were saying when we were talking is about the people being underneath the park bench still. And that's what the show is about, how to live through hopelessness. And Greg gave how he was able to pull himself out of it. What kind of advice do you give to authors who feel like their book is just not making traction? What advice would you give them?
Well, you know what I tell every author, you can't do it by yourself. I couldn't do it by myself. I had a great mentor. My publisher, Rhonda Knight, she was my publisher and editor. She taught me a lot because, like I said, I wrote those books. I didn't know what I was doing. I had never written a book. I didn't know what to do or where to go. I just started researching, and my plan, the way I went about it, I wrote all 5 of my books before I even started looking for a publisher or illustrator. I didn't want to have those deadlines where, you know, they said, well, you need to have me this by X amount. So I went on and wrote all 5 of my books before, and it took me over 5 years. It took me about 5 years plus to get my books out. But I decided to do it that way so that I didn't miss deadlines. So once I had those books written, I started researching for an illustrator. I had no clue where to go, who, where. And so this one lady reached out to me, and she was the first publisher that reached out to me, and her fee was pretty high. It was pretty high. And so I researched her and I looked into her background, and I didn't see, I wasn't feeling her. I didn't see where, you know, she had only published a couple of books and that was it. So I didn't really, and so a young lady that worked with me, she tied me to an individual who used a publisher for his book. And that's how I connected with Rhonda Knight. But Rhonda was more than a publisher for me. She was a mentor. And that's what you have to be. You know, a lot of times I could go to you and I can, you know, buy your product. But if you educate me on that product, I'm connected with you then. You know, I'm not just buying something and walking out the door. I'm connected with you. And so she mentored me and she told me what I needed to do. And she told me if my book was, you know, needed this, that, and the other. But when she told me I needed to go back to the drawing board and add some meat to that book, I was like, hold up. I've been writing these books for 5 years and you telling me to go back to the drawing board? It took me about a month, y'all. I'm so serious to think about that. Because I was like, I'm not doing that. It took me about a month, you know, thinking about it. And then I just decided, you know what, I got this far. Let me just go ahead. And so I went back to the drawing board and that meant now I had to go back to my illustrator because I found my illustrator on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
And my illustrator, she cold and she's very reasonable. Her price was the lowest price I could find, but this girl was cold. And so now, not only do I have to go back and add more to my stories, to all 5 books, but I have to go back and tell my illustrator, I need more pictures from you. I need you to give me more photos because now I got to add more pages to my book. But God prepared us all, you guys. He prepared you, Greg. He prepared you, Rachel. He prepared me because those hard times that we went through made us understand the things, what to do and not to do when we became successful with what we were doing. Absolutely. He's not going to give you $1 million and you splurging and spending and don't know how to manage it. Once you got that $1 million, Greg, you knew what not to do with it. You knew the things that were not going to get you back underneath that playground.
Right.
You knew the things that you shouldn't do or you should do that will keep you from going back there. And that's one of the things that he does. You may think that you're going through hard times, but you're going through those trials and tribulations for a reason.
For a reason.
Because we will never go back to some of the things that pulled us back down like that. Because he took us through it and we learned from it. And
Absolutely.
so he sent those individuals to me to teach me, even though I had no clue of how to get a book out there. He brought those individuals and they were the right individuals. I still have relationships with them. My illustrator, my publisher, we do.
Let me say this real quick too. Just the same as he brought those people, he brings people into your life at the right time. The right people at the right time, all right, period, all right. And I'll say this real quick, not to take any of Gina's time, with the DopeLiven, you know, Gina and I met at a post office, believe it or not, okay? I thought she was crazy as hell because he was playing with some dolls, all right?
I am.
But she told me what was going on with her, and there was an instance where she had this little event. I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go there. I didn't know who, you know, I knew she came from the same school I went to, but I didn't know her like that. And the support that I gave her, didn't even know I needed to give that support. Okay, but that's how God works, okay? that support came, all right, and somebody came at Gina because of the support, and I just said, you know what? I'm gonna be there for my sister regardless, not because I want anything from her. I've never asked Gina for anything because I want to make sure that she's good. All right, I want to make sure that she's great. That's a part of my existence, is to make sure that people are better, or in some way that from the stuff that I've done, or from the advice that I've given. Period. Okay, and it's vice versa. When I did this book, I said I'm not showing nobody till Gina tells me it's cool, and then I'm sitting here running around waiting because Gina didn't get back to me. All right, immediately. So I'm like, she hated. Then just today, Rachel, she said, "Boy, look," and I'm like, okay. And when I do these funny little gestures, okay. So I told Gina, I said, you know what? When anybody else tell me something, it's cool, okay. But when Gina tells me, it's like my mama told me. Okay, it's like you bet you know what you're supposed to do. So get off of your butt and do it. Not in those words, but Gina don't have to say too many words to me in order to make. Like I said, I tell everybody on the show, look at her face, look at her eyes. When they turn different, it's over. All right, you done messed up. Here, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to say what was ironic when you were talking about people coming to your life at points of time. It's being open to those people coming in your life as well. And sometimes when in the beginning of the show, I was saying that you're living through things to stretch you and prepare you. And if you take from life the lesson, you will move yourself from being hopeless, because you'll take it that this is meant for me to grow from. Nothing's happening to me, it's happening for me. And when you take it from that standpoint, then you think differently about it. Then you're like, okay, then you're looking for the lesson in it. What can I find out? What can I do better because I lived through this? And being open to the people. Hold on, we got some people in the chat. They talking to you guys. Dr. Stevens say, right? We have deadlines when publishing. And she says, correct, Gina. Publishing should be an educational journey as well. We got Jeff checking in saying, facts, Gina. Absolutely. That's what it's about at the end of the day. Jeff Relaford is also another person that used to be on DopeLiven TV. Now, I started
family.
Jeff from DopeLiven TV. Now, he was doing his show. If you guys are not tuned into Jeff Relaford's show, get locked in on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Radio.
Make sure that I'm right. Mondays and Wednesdays. Drop it in the chat to make sure I'm correct. But you need guys to get locked in with Jeff Relaford. He is a life coach. And as I said, as always, I am in collaboration, not competition with anyone. Jeff coaches in a different way that I coach, and we coach on different methods. And guess what? Real soon, in the next couple of weeks, me and Jeff are going to be on the show together having a great conversation about what? Growing. That's what we're talking about, growing and how we grow. And he checked in. That's definitely it, Rachel. There is always a lesson. Absolutely always a lesson.
And I think that is so good for him to say that, because you know what? Sometimes you don't know that you're going through a lesson. I didn't know when my brother showed up at that event. I hired a guy to promote my book, and he had this contract with all of these different things he was going to do for me and my book. And it sounded so good. And I paid him. And, the first encounter was him doing a book launch for me. I said for me, right? And he did a book launch for his own books. But see, I didn't know at the time when I met my brother in the post office, and he said, you know what, I'm going to come to your event. And in my head, I was like, yeah, right. Okay, whatever. I paid him no attention because, people, I didn't know him like that. I didn't know that he was really a man of his word at that point, because we were just getting connected from just seeing each other in high school, not really knowing each other. And so that evening he came through, and you know what? He noticed some things I didn't notice. Guy had his books all out and people were buying his books. Where were my books? Were nowhere to be seen. I paid you for this. My brother, he did a whole video shoot, and he edited out of the video, out of all the video. He was like, this was your event. He edited him out of the whole video, and he was really upset. Greg was really upset at the way he did me, but I didn't know that this was a lesson that I was going through. I did not know that. It took Greg to show me this is a lesson that you're going through. This is something he shouldn't be doing to you. And he stood up, and I'm telling you, that guy was upset with Greg for editing him out of that video when it aired. He was really, really upset. But Greg saw something I didn't see. And when you talk about, going through those lessons, God will send those people, and sometimes you don't even know that you're going through the lesson, or maybe those people are there to show you some things that you're not seeing. And that's exactly what happened in the situation with me and Greg.
Right.
Well, I mean, but that goes to that people come in your life for seasons and reasons. And sometimes you're not, every time you're not going to know the reason they're in your life. But when you have good discernment and a person is a good heart, like when I met Greg, same difference. Him and I were having conversations about things that people were saying. I was being promoted during this time. There were so many things that were going on. People hated to talk with me. I felt by myself a lot of times at work. Because in the beginning, we playing soccer outside. We're all friends. We're playing. The second I get promoted, no one talks to me. They didn't talk to me. They didn't invite me to any more gatherings. But it was all for me. It didn't happen to me. It happened for me. Because as a supervisor, I shouldn't have been hanging out with them anymore. There's certain things I shouldn't have been doing anymore. I'm not a drinker or anything like that, but we hung out. They drank. I bought cervezas, which are beers, guys. I know a lot of Spanish, not a little Spanish. I know a lot of Spanish, but I bought the beers. We hung out. I knew their families, their kids, all that. Once I got a promotion, no one said a word to me. But and it's not like I did something wrong. It was all because of people's perception.
The elevation.
Mm-hmm.
People's perception. But at the end of the day,
everybody's not going to go up there with you. And everybody's not meant to.
Because think about it like this. I'm gonna name a couple people. Gary Rags. Gary Rags does charity in Chicago. I have known Gary just as long as I've known Greg. Curtis Shelby, he has his own nonprofit. I have known him as long as I have known Greg. One more time. These are three people who I met. We all met at the same. I met them all at the same place.
Yeah.
But did you hear me? Are the people names I named on what they're doing? Do you hear the circle? Mm-hmm. Greg is helping people. I'm helping people. Mm-hmm. Gary's helping people. Curtis is helping people. So the people I spent the most time with at that place, those are a circle of individuals that needed to be in my circle. That goes to, you have to understand when the people and the seasons and the reasons, because there were many other people I met at the time that I don't speak to at all, and they were just there for that season.
That's it.
And you'll see when you move towards success, you're going to see your circle change. You need to pay attention to your circle people. You probably don't need the same people in your circle that you had when you were down there. And you know what? It's okay to help the ones who weren't able to come up there with you. And sometimes you need to leave them alone. But you need to evaluate your circle and see, who needs to be in it and who doesn't, because everybody don't need to be in your circle. I think about the circle that I have as far as helping me to promote the authors. We started off with DopeLiven. Authors come on DopeLiven every year and throughout the year. They come on as nominees and they come back on as winners.
Winners, yeah.
And they come on to even just to promote whatever they're doing independently, if they choose to do that. But I've gotten support from Jeff with the Bigs Radio, who had all the authors on his platform. Selena with Rock Truth Radio. Shay with Higher Levels with Shay. Wake Up CEO. Get Caught in the Net. All of these different D-Starks. All of these different podcasts who open their
Can I
doors
say one thing?
for the
These Starks, I apologize, man. If you are listening, I will definitely reach out to you and try to reschedule. My apologies. I had something to do right after the show. I had misunderstood the time frame, so I wasn't playing hard. I want to make sure I still hang out with you. So these Starks, I still who you want. I'm a humble individual. I'm a humble individual, and I didn't get that opportunity. So I appreciate you mentioning D-Star because I put that back on my radar to make sure I reach out to him personally and apologize. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
But that's what happens, though. Your circle, it grows, but it grows with the right individuals. Exactly. It grows with the right individuals because you got to pay attention to them. Because God may be telling you, you know what, get that person out of your circle. You don't need them in there. They were just here. And I've gotten a lot of people out of my circle along these last 6 years. There's some people that have come in my circle with DAG and has helped in different ways. And guess what? They had to move on to somewhere else. We had to move in different directions. I had someone who came in who tried to steal my name.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do.
They tried to steal the Distinguished Authors Guild name. And then they wanted me to promote it.
Yeah, that's something, man. You know, you got haters that try to take from you, and then they want you to do for them, okay? And that's the same thing. Again, shout out to Jeff Rutherford, by the way, man. That guy's done the same thing that I've asked you to do, Rachel. This guy's done it and beyond that, okay? But real quick, Gina is so very right, okay? With DopeLiven, I'll even put that there, okay? And I stole DopeLiven from my son. I say it, okay? But with DopeLiven.
That was your seed, man. So you just transferred it from me.
That ain't really stealing. He owed you that.
But there's a bunch of people that have gone through this DopeLiven journey. All right. Some people like Jeff have excelled, and you know, there's no love lost. Okay. And really, there's no love lost with any of them. Okay. But like Gina said, you know, you gotta know, and that's why I say that old adage of keep your enemies close and all of that stuff. Okay. Make sure those people. I wish this was DopeLiven because I'd be cursing right now. Make sure that those people.
I don't want no fines. I don't want Chablis giving me fines. Hold on.
I got you. I'll pay the fine though. Okay, but make sure those people are right here, right under that armpit. Okay, so you can know exactly what they're doing. All right. You don't have to hate them. Okay, and hopefully they'll soften up and learn the journey, learn the proper way to do it. But if they don't, at least you know what their moves are. If they're right there. If they're right there, you'll know what their moves are, so they can't hurt you. Okay, and even if they try to hurt you, your reputation, your name, your brand, what you've built, it can't be broken, regardless of what people do or regardless of what people say. It can't be broken. You know, you two people, Jeff Rutherford as well, man. Look, you guys are exemplary of people that are intentional. I use that word a lot. Intentional. You guys know who you are. You know where you want to go. You know what you're going. Look, the Distinguished Authors Guild, man, is an award show. It's a literary award show. But there's a lot of literary award shows out there. And what did we say earlier, Rachel? Look, they can do all of these award shows, but they can't do it like Gina does it. All right. And I'm not just saying that. And you guys have to, just like you try to make me take these accolades and this and that, y'all take these accolades too. Y'all take this praise that I'm giving you, okay? Because you guys are unique. All right. Jeff, unique. Rachel, unique. Gina, unique, because you guys are doing a service and you're not doing it looking for something. All right. I had to stop my relationship with Core Water. Lucrative relationship with Core Water. Okay. Why? Because Core Water, and I mentioned Core Water. I shouldn't have said it at first, but it's too late now. I mentioned them because if you can't accept me and my team, then I'm good on that, okay? It was lucrative, Gina would tell you, but I cut it because they didn't want everybody else, okay? Now, there were some people, and I'll make my longer story short, okay? There were some people who were on the DopeLiven team, you know, when we had 13 people on at one time, and they didn't have that vision. They were only out for themselves, okay? I've never been out for myself. I've always thought about team first, okay? And organically and through prayer and what God has manifested for us is that everybody that's on that platform is where? From the city, Gary, hometown. We didn't plan it like that. Did not plan it like that. It just happened, you know? And so we are so complete with what we do and so happy. me personally at the direction that everybody is going from there. Okay, the Distinguished Authors Guild is going on its 7th year, right? Yeah, it's the 6th year, but it's going on our 7th year.
Right.
Hey, in 2 days it will be the 6th year, and then the third day is the 7th.
The 7th. Yep. Well, that's what I say now.
You're right.
And I guarantee you, it's going to be bigger and better next year. Okay, every day after the Distinguished Authors Guild, Gina said, "This may be my last year, bro." Nope.
All right, so hold on. So while you talk about accolades, we got Jeff who says Greg is a dope mentor and teacher. Number mentor, hashtag mentor for life. Then he says, y'all better say that everyone isn't meant to go with you for sure.
Come on, Jeff.
He says, give them that free life game out here, y'all. And he got flames. Guys.
That's life coach Jeff. Life coach Jeff, okay? That's the
look at his elevation, though. You guys need to follow him because his elevation is off the chain. My little brother, Coach Jeff, he is doing
enough I can say about that
some big things out here in the streets, you guys. And I'm gonna tell you, I got so many compliments on his interview with the DAG authors. I mean, people were like, "Man, that dude he's a coach. He's giving it. He was giving it." And you know what? That's what pulled Jeff in with us. That's why we pulled Jeff in with us, because we saw that in the very beginning.
Oh, at the beginning, he was so scared at first, okay? But man, look, after he saw, I just told him, I said, man, do what you do. You life coach Jeff. You giving people information that they need. You're life coach Jeff. So he started life coaching, and Jeff, man, oh man, I love you so much, bro. For real, no homo.
But people don't even know Mo is such behind the scenes. They don't even know what Mo do for us behind the scenes, because he's the behind the scenes guy. So y'all just see him sitting up there like this, you know. But Mo he does so much for us. I mean,
and he's so smart.
He started off. I believe he started off. It may have went further than this, but remember, he was doing the intros for DopeLiven. He was doing the intros for Chris.
Yeah.
He's always done the intros for DAG. He does it every year.
Made me lazy.
He made you lazy.
Yeah, because I was doing it at first, but I was like, he doing it, and he doing it futuristic. I'm like, hey, look, go ahead, bro.
And I'm gonna be honest. When I first started deciding on how to market, how to do things, I gave Mo a call. Mo and I sat down. We had a conversation. At the end of the day, guys, it's about surrounding yourself with people who have positivity, surrounding yourself with people with growth, surrounding yourself with individuals who want your success. I want to say that one more time.
Please
people
do.
That want your success.
I just see your vision. They have to see your vision.
Right. I mean, they don't have to live your vision, but they have to know you have a vision and have to either be in your vision or on the sidelines of your vision. I just parted ways with someone I've been working with for years because I felt they did not mean my business well. And that's a hard thing. When you're working with somebody real closely and you're seeing that they're not giving you a quality product or they're not working together with you in a collaborative way, that's hurting your business. This is the lesson I wanted to get you to take from it. Know when to cut ties.
That's
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
Know when to cut ties. So right now we talked about how to live through hopelessness, which is what the show is all about. And we've had great conversation with people who have had it all, lost it all, and now have elevated above where they were before, but in a way now where they're mentoring, guiding, and helping other people find success. People who cherish their advice, I being one of them, Gina being one of them, Jeff being one of them, and many others. So I want to make sure you guys right now check out my post every Thursday. Every Thursday, I have the unique opportunity down with the National Black Radio Hall of Fame inductees that are with DopeLiven TV. I am privileged every single week, and I appreciate that they have me there. I thank Coach Jeff for taking a step away because that allowed leadership coach right, but that's all right. We should do a show together on there where we collaborate and bring your life coaching and my leadership coaching skills and show people how it's done.
It's done. Jeff will come on. Jeff will come
So
on.
That would be so awesome, man.
And have
minds.
And have a whole. We need to have a whole symposium where we're bringing those ideas to help people find their success that's already in them. That's
Jeff
what it's really about.
Jeff
now let's get to what. Let's make sure
before we move on. I have to say this because Dr. Stevens has been such a huge. You know what? I have had plenty of people to reach out and try to partner with me because I'm solo, and so where I can get the help, I take the help. But you know what? Those individuals before Dr. Stevens, they did not see the vision. And it was always, what can I get out of this? Mm-hmm. It was always what they can get out of it. And sometimes they were coming in with, let's do this so we can make all this money. I've had people to approach me like that. That's not what I'm trying to do here. That's not what I'm in this for. But Dr. Stevens came in. She saw the vision. She saw how DAG could elevate and how it could help people. She's a helping, giving, and loving individual. We were on the same page, and she has been there side by side, working with me 3, 4, 5 in the morning. We talking, we calling, we connecting, and she has been such a huge impact in helping DAG to be successful. So I have to give her accolades because no one has been able to deal with me but her.
And me.
Well, you go without saying, bro. But I will say that at the end of the day, Dr. Stevens she is a mentor and part of my business. Also, I'm a partner in the BHC network. That is part of. If you guys have seen the commercials, the BHC network is where my CSM network is housed on. Guys, you want to lock in with individuals who see your success and see that want to help your success and who are advising, who are guiding, who are listening when you're having those rants and raves. Because sometimes you just need someone to listen to you rant and rave about everything that's going on and then be like, okay, now what you gonna do? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And not feed with you like, oh yeah, that is what happened. You should be doing it. That's not the kind of conversation you want to have. You want that person to allow you to vent, but then pour back into you and say, hey, now that happened. Now what are you gonna do next?
And Rachel,
those are the type of people in my circle.
Real quick, it's about bartering black too. Okay, we as individuals, black entrepreneurs, we have to be able to give to one another, okay? As Gina said, we do what we do, number one, because we love it. It's not about the money all the time. But if we have it, we can give it. We can share our ideas and share whatever, because I'm not worried about nobody doing what I'm doing, okay? There's plenty of room out there for everybody to do the same thing. Do a podcast. Somebody put a post out the other day. I'm not going to do a podcast because Greg Gray owns that genre. I was like, that's flattering. Thank you, okay? But do it. Do your thing, bro. And I'm going to support you 100%. It's not what we get. When we support, we're not doing it to get money off of you. We're doing it because our prosperity comes from you succeeding, okay? That's there we go. I'm sorry.
Hands down. So I would be remiss if we do not end the show with talking about my favorite thing, the Distinguished Authors Guild. The Distinguished Authors Guild, so I don't even have to talk about it, even though I'm an ambassador. We're going to let the queen herself talk about the event that is happening Friday at 6 p.m. Gina, tell them where they can get tickets. What's going on? I'll let her go ahead.
Go to Eventbrite. Get the tickets, Gina. You guys. You have 2 days remaining. 2 days. Come on now. We are going to have such a great time. Rachel is an ambassador. Don't let her fool y'all. She's an ambassador, and we could talk another time about what an ambassador encompasses, because they are the face of DAG. But come on out. We're going to have a champagne gala, and it starts at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. The champagne gala, and then we move into the award show. We have entertainment. Boy, this entertainment gonna be off the chain, you guys. We have entertainment for you. There's lots of networking, and you get to meet the authors in person. You get to meet them in person and you can purchase their books. Come on out. It is a black tie event. So come on out dressed up. I'm going to tell you guys what somebody said to me when they bought a ticket and they called me. Actually, she was one of my readers. Her name is Nikki. And Nikki, she bought a ticket and she said, this is a formal affair. I said, yeah. I said, you okay with that? She said, girl, we tired of these wretched events. I'm looking forward to coming out and dressing up and coming out to this event. So you get to come out, wear your Sunday best, look good. You're going to be everywhere, y'all, because the Chicago Defender will be there taping. It's going to be a night of accolades and honor. And just to support these authors who work so hard to put these awesome books in your hands, it's a privilege to me.
Absolutely. I will definitely be in the building. If you buy a ticket in the next 2 days and you put Rachel L. Gary in there, you can not only come to the event, you come to the event and get your free signed copy of hashtag Poverty to Six Figures. Rachel L. Gary has to be in the comments when you buy the ticket. And then you come to me, I'll have your book in my hand and we'll have a signed copy, pictures on the red carpet, having great conversation, because at the end of the day, literary excellence is what we're celebrating. And since I have two of my favorite people on, they get to stay for the leadership 3-point play that is powered by Say I'm Possible Academy. Play 1. Name the pain. Don't hide from it. Play 2. Turn the pain into purpose. Let it fuel your mission. Play 3. Walk in your comeback. Your rise inspires others to get up too. And that is the leadership 3-point play that is powered by Say I'm Possible Academy. Where self-leadership gets GP. So, guys, we had the pleasure to be with Greg Gray, and we're going to allow him to say what final words you have for us today, Greg. And I appreciate you, brother, for coming on the show and telling us your life story in a brief period of time. You know, it's much more. We'll dive deeper at a later time.
No, we won't. But hey man, look, I apologize to get dark, but I don't want to go and cut on the lights because I don't want to get off here. But hey man, look, I wrote a book. It's called Peace and Power: The Black Man's Guide to Balance in Life, Love, and Business. It's just more digging deep into the things that I've gone through. I'm not asking anybody that you don't have to do it all, but just read it and take some notes. All right. But shout out to Jeff Relaford. Shout out to Gina. Shout out to Rachel. Shout out to my guy, Mike Green, Dinah Lynn Biggs Network. Everybody that's out there doing their things and living their dreams. Do not be afraid to do so. All right. Don't do it apologetically. Do it intentionally. And make sure that you stay on point. Learn from everything that you see outside. You can learn from a bird chirping, okay? But learn. Don't be afraid to learn, because that's one of the greatest gifts that we have, the power of learning, the power of knowledge, and the power of giving to others. That's all I got.
All right, Gina, your final statement.
Yes. I was going to chirp like a bird, but you know what? This might be a replay. And but you know what? My last words are: walk in your dream. Don't just walk in your dream. Be persistent in your dream. That's what gets you where you need to be. You have to be persistent. You're going to fall. You're going to stumble. It's not going to be easy. If don't go in thinking it's easy. It's not going to be easy. But if you fall, get back up and keep going. Those roadblocks, they may slow you down, but they should not stop you. Keep pushing and keep going. That's my
love that, guys. And as usual, I appreciate you taking the opportunity to come spend your Wednesdays right here with me on My Radio Chicago, supporting District Radio, where we already know it is more than radio. I had the pleasure to have the conversation with two great individuals today. And if you are looking to be a guest on Wake Up CEO, go ahead and send me a message at wakeupceoradio@gmail.com. Make sure that you let me know what you do, how you do it to make sure that we align, because everybody has to feel like the energy is going to rise. And CEOs, no matter how hard life hits, you were built to get up. Your story is still being written. Your breakthrough is still being built, and your strength is still in motion. So breathe, rebuild, and remember, prosperity starts when you refuse to stay down. And until next week, right here on My Radio Chicago, I want you guys to be up, out, and moving to the greatness we all know lies within who? You. See you next week, right here on Wake Up CEO.
Do you feel stuck? Like your dreams are just out of reach? It's time to change that narrative. Use life's setbacks to fuel the fire within. I'll walk you through the exact steps I took to move from $7 an hour to multiple six-figure success. The roadmap includes practical strategies, real-world mindset shifts, and the habits that help me rise against the odds. Welcome to Hashtag Poverty to Six Figures, a journey that goes beyond just financial success. This is about breaking free from the cycle and claiming your desires, transforming your life, unlocking your potential, and finally living the life you deserve. Get your copy today. Start your journey towards financial freedom. Are you ready?
6 figures couldn't change my mind.